The day I found out I was pregnant with Mark's child, his first love came back to the country. With nothing to lose, I decided to go on a dating show hiding my baby bump. I planned to flirt with other men openly on the show, but he chased me down, cornered me against a wall, eyes red, and asked, "Whose child is this?" Mark and I got together because of a family marriage arrangement. He's a famous actor, while I'm just a pretty face with no acting skills and a lot of negative press. Because of my looks, many actresses in the industry were wary of me, teaming up to subtly or overtly resist me. As a result, my reputation in the industry wasn't great. Mark and I had a secret marriage, and we maintained a polite distance. But an accident one night led to us sleeping together. That accident led to me getting pregnant. Looking at the pregnancy test results in my hand, I rubbed my eyes in disbelief. Was this man's aim really that accurate? I touched my belly. It was only a month, but knowing there was a baby inside made my feelings change in a mysterious way. I took out my phone to tell Mark the news, but then I saw the entertainment news blowing up. Actress Luna returns home. Actor Mark welcomes her at the airport. What a perfect match. Actor Mark and actress Luna look so good together. I clicked in and saw a picture of my husband Mark walking alongside a young woman. The woman was beautiful, with long hair cascading down her back, and a gentle smile on her fair face. Countless netizens commented on how well she matched with Mark and urged them to be together. I knew this Luna. She was from the same company as Mark, and many fans thought they were a couple. The photos and comments annoyed me. I recalled Mark's public schedule. A business trip. His so-called business trip was to pick up another woman. While Mark and I were polite to each other, it didn't mean he could betray me. Anger flared up, and I was jolted back by the sudden ring of my phone. "Hello, Lisa, do you want to join a dating show? It's a small one, but given our current situation, we can't get into anything better." My agent Eve was trying to persuade me, but I cut her off. "Sign me up." Huh. Eve was momentarily stunned. I said, "Sign me up. A dating show sounds perfect. Why not?" A smile played on my lips, but it didn't reach my eyes. I turned off the gossip about Mark on my phone and slipped the pregnancy test into my bag. Eve mentioned the dating show would last for half a month. I packed a few things, and with Eve accompanying me, I flew to the show. I heard there would be 6 guests, 3 men and 3 women, and the entire thing would be live-streamed. To create a buzz, the show hadn't revealed the guest list, meaning we'd only find out who was there at the scene. Wanting to make a good impression, I arrived early, thinking I'd be the first. But just as I got there, a camera pointed at me, and the director's voice rang out. "Let's welcome our last guest, Lisa." I was speechless. Externally, I maintained a fake smile and waved cheerfully. "Lisa is so beautiful. I love her face." "Disgusting. She's just a pretty face with nothing else. Why did they even invite her?" I had good eyesight and immediately saw the comments, but I kept my composure. I originally came to the entertainment industry to toughen up. I walked into the small house prepared by the show, where 6 chairs had already seated 5 people. Second-tier actor Felix, who I had once acted with, smiled with his trademark dual dimples. Sweet girl Chloe, fresh from a talent show, wore a pink dress and had her hair in a bun, looking sweet and elegant. Seeing those 2, I felt nothing unusual. But when I saw the other 3, my eyes widened. Top idol Jack winked at me. Next to him were top actor Mark and actress Luna. Wasn't this supposed to be a small-time dating show? Why were they here? Looking at Mark, I met his deep, unreadable eyes. Before I could stare longer, a white figure blocked my view. "Since everyone's here, let's get started." Luna, seemingly unintentionally, stood between Mark and me, a gentle smile playing on her lips. Luna is so beautiful. Her smile is melting my heart. If we're talking beauty, Lisa is on another level. Lisa is just a pretty face. Don't compare her to our Luna, okay? I tore my gaze away from Mark, pushing down my shock. Why would a top actor join such a small show? But then it hit me. Mark was married, yet he was on a dating show with Luna. Were they planning to publicly date? My face turned dark. Pairing up started with a draw. Jack came to my side and whispered, "How's it going lately?" Although his words weren't picked up by the microphones, they were caught on camera. What is Jack doing? Why is he talking to Lisa? That vixen. I knew she'd try to hook up with someone. Jack, stay away from that woman. As a popular idol, Jack had many female fans. His approach to me caused an immediate uproar in the live stream. "Why are you on this show?" I whispered back. "This one isn't tough to figure out. You know it's 'cause you're here. Are you and hubby planning a public romance?" Jack winked at me. "Oh, right. My real name is Sue. Lisa is my stage name." I rolled my eyes at Jack. That was definitely not happening. Mark did join the dating show to find love, but I wasn't the one he was looking for. The drawing lot started, and I prayed not to be paired with Mark. But sometimes the more you don't want something, the more the universe wants to give it to you. Felix and Chloe were paired up, Jack and Luna were paired up, and I ended up with Mark. What the heck? How could the superstar not be paired with Luna? This draw is so unfair. Oh my god, Mark the stud is paired with Lisa, the bimbo. Lisa must be over the moon. I was closest to the screen, and saw the comments right away. I felt a strange anger building up inside me. Probably because I'm pregnant, and my temper's a bit worse. I couldn't hold it in and snapped back. Why would I be happy to be paired with Mark? How about we say he's the lucky one to be paired with me? My words made the room fall silent, and even the comments in the live stream paused. But then, the screen exploded with even more comments. Oh my god, is this woman for real? Is she possessed or something? Lisa, do you even know what shameless means? Mark's probably cursing his luck being paired with you. Happy my foot. Just glancing at the comments, I saw tons of insults aimed at me. Usually, for the sake of reputation, I've been really cautious on camera, bottling up so much resentment. But now, after snapping back, I felt much better. Anyway, I'm not in this to make a living off the entertainment industry. If I can't stay in the end, I'll just go home and inherit my family's estate. Plus, I'm pregnant now, and holding in anger is really bad for expectant mothers. Once I figured that out, I felt way more relaxed. What surprised me was that a low, deep voice agreed with me. Yeah, I am thrilled. Not only was I dumbfounded, but even Luna's smile froze. Mark's deep, black eyes were fixed on me, flickering with some unknown emotion. What is this guy up to? Before I could react, a gentle whispered voice reached my ears. Mark's always been good at helping people out, just like before. I frowned. Luna's familiar way of addressing Mark annoyed me. Who needs Mark's help anyway? After the drawing, the production team started handing out tasks. To build better rapport between the guests and develop their relationships, the houses would live in and the food we'd eat needed to be earned through completing tasks. The crew led us to a village. The first task was to collect wood for the villagers from a small forest. The group that collected the most wood in an hour could pick their house first. When the competition started, I rushed into the woods, with Mark trailing leisurely behind me. I didn't want to talk to him, so I bent down and started picking up wood. But because I'm pregnant, I didn't move too much and only picked up a little at a time. You should rest. I'll do the collecting. It's a bit dirty. Just as I was concentrating on picking up wood, Mark's voice sounded in my ear. I stood up and looked around. Felix and Chloe were busy working hard. In Jack's group, he was the only one working. Luna was sitting on a rock, enjoying the view instead of picking up wood. Why isn't Luna collecting wood? What's she doing just sitting there? Why should Luna do such dirty work? Luna already said she's not feeling well. What's wrong with taking a break? The other two female stars can collect wood. Why can't Luna? Is she just going to make Jack do all the work? So spoiled. If you can't participate, then leave. I glanced at the live stream comments. Jack's fans and Luna's fans were tearing into each other. I shot a look at Mark and sneered. So, you're trying to use me to divert attention from Luna, huh? What a jerk. How did I never realize he was so awful before? I turned away and kept picking up wood. The wood at the edge of the forest was almost gone, so I moved deeper in. Suddenly, I heard some noises from the bushes ahead. I got alert immediately. People say wild animals often appear in small forests. Could it be a wolf or a tiger? I looked around and realized I was alone. Oh no, I'm scared. Just as I was about to run away, a figure emerged from the bushes. Sis, hearing that familiar voice, I was startled but then relaxed. I was about to speak when Jack pointed at the microphone on my chest. I got it and turned off the microphone. Sis, take all of these. Jack came up and dumped all the wood he had collected on me. Huh, but if you give it to me, what about you? He was the only one collecting in his group. I'm fine, sis. I don't care where I stay, but I don't want you to suffer. Jack threw me a flirtatious wink and even blew a kiss. His exaggerated expressions made me feel gross. The guy positions himself as a cold, aloof man to his fans. But with me, he's just play acting. I couldn't stand it and punched him. Cut it out. Jack yelped but returned to normal. He insisted on giving me the wood. Thinking about how my brother was working hard while Luna just sat there infuriated me. I didn't refuse and took the wood. As the competition time was about to end, I returned to base camp, carrying a huge pile of wood that drew everyone's attention. The director gave me a close-up shot, and I wiped the sweat from my forehead with my sleeve. I didn't expect Lisa to be so capable. With all this wood, she's definitely the best. I used to think Lisa was just for show, but turns out, nope, someone else is. Hey, I've been telling you, Luna's not feeling well. I wasn't even talking about your Luna. Why are you taking it personally? Jack picked up some wood on the way back, but not much. Luna glanced at me and then at him, looking a bit uneasy, and asked, "Why did you only get so little?" That complaint set off a storm in the live stream chat from Jack's fans. Does Luna have no shame? How dare she say Jack picked too little? Ha, she did nothing herself, but had the nerve to complain about my Jack. What is her problem? Luna realized she misspoke and quickly tried to smooth things over. Jack, I didn't mean anything by it. I don't mind what kind of house I live in. I rolled my eyes so hard in response. I looked around for Mark and noticed, to my surprise, that he'd gathered quite a lot of wood too. I had some from Jack, but his collection by himself was more than what Jack and I had combined. Unsurprisingly, our group came in first, Felix and Chloe second, and Jack and Luna third. There were 3 types of houses. First place gets a small 2-story house, second place a single-story house, and the third place gets a small cabin. Being first, naturally, I picked the 2-story house, and Felix and Chloe chose the single-story one. Jack and Luna had no choice and got the small cabin. That cabin had nothing but a bed. Conversely, my 2-story house had 2 beds. I certainly wasn't going to let my brother and that woman sleep on the same bed. So I was about to call Jack over when Luna, teary-eyed, approached Mark. "Mark, could you spare me a room tonight? I'm not feeling well, and that cabin's drafty. I'm afraid I'll catch a cold." Luna coughed a few times as she said this. Hearing Luna, my expression turned cold. If Mark dared to agree, I'd throw them both out. "Sorry, I don't have the authority to decide that." I was slightly surprised. Mark turned her down. As I looked over at him, Mark was also looking back at me. I heard him say, "You can ask my partner." Mark was letting Luna ask me. I was stunned. Luna's hands clenched, her face alternating between pale and flushed. Everyone outside thinks she and actor Mark are very close, even rumored to be in a relationship. Only Luna knows there's nothing between them. Those rumors were just her own doing. But Mark, having come from the same agency, had never publicly rejected her, never embarrassed her. Today, he bluntly slapped her face. Luna adjusted her mood and walked over to me. Before she could say anything, I quickly turned to Jack and said, "Jack, why don't you come to our place tonight?" "Sure," Jack readily agreed. Luna froze on the spot. Does Lisa have no shame? What's her deal? Oh wow, what a move. She doesn't want Luna to stay, does she? What's wrong with Lisa? I think she's great. She'll invite whoever she wants. It's her reward. Exactly, inviting Jack was a good choice. Some people do nothing and expect a free ride. In the live stream chat, Luna's fans tried to bash me, but Jack's fans shut them down. I admit I had issues with Lisa before, but now, it seems she has good taste and knows how to choose people. Luna's agent noticed the negative comments about her in the chat. Glaring at Luna, he gave her a warning look. It was decided Luna would have to stay in the small cabin. The next task was to gather food. With the earlier experience, Luna knew she couldn't just sit around. Otherwise, she'd get even more backlash. She originally aimed to build a frail, untouchable persona, cherished by everyone, but it backfired spectacularly. Now many of Jack's fans began to dislike Luna. Jack is a top idol with a strong following. Fortunately, the food gathering task wasn't hard, and we completed it quickly. Being pregnant and having exerted a lot, I was starving. With food in hand, I sat in a corner and began to eat. A strong perfume scent came from beside me. Luna sat down next to me. "Lisa," she called out. Unable to hold back, I sneezed. "Luna, what's up?" I moved away to put some distance between us. The scent was just too much. Luna glanced at my chest, checking if my MIC was off, and then said, "Lisa, do you know about Jack's family background? He's the second son of the Imperial Group," Luna said indifferently, referring to a top corporation. "Oh," I nodded, clueless as to why she was telling me this. "Jack and Mark, either of them are out of your league. Know your place and keep your distance." I was amused by her words. "What a character. I hope you understand," Luna said, standing up. I rolled my eyes and continued gnawing on my chicken leg. Nightfall came. Since Jack took one room, I'd have to sleep with Mark. The show would take our phones, but allow an hour of use each day. After washing up, I lay on the bed and started Googling pregnancy tips. "What are you looking at?" Absorbed in my reading, a voice suddenly came from above my head. Startled, I quickly turned off my phone screen. "You scared me. Can't you make some noise when you walk?" I patted my chest. I wasn't ready to tell Mark about the pregnancy just yet. Mark, somehow, had gotten a glass of milk and handed it to me. "Drink this." Where did this come from? Even though I ate a lot at dinner, I still feel hungry now. Thinking about the baby inside me, I went ahead and took the milk. After I finished drinking, Mark handed me a tissue from the villagers. I nodded and went to brush my teeth before bed. As I lay in bed, Mark covered up the camera in the room. I was a bit sleepy initially, but lost all drowsiness when Mark lay down beside me. I replayed the events of the day in my mind. Luna tried several times to get close to Mark, but he ignored her completely. What's going on? Isn't Luna Mark's first love? That day, Mark said he was going on a business trip, but he actually went to the airport to pick up Luna. Could it be because I'm here and he's embarrassed? Yeah, that must be it. I suddenly let out a cold laugh. Even if Mark doesn't care about me, he has to consider the cooperation between our families. Why are you laughing in the middle of the night? I heard Mark's voice suddenly in the darkness. None of your business. I rolled over and closed my eyes, back facing Mark. The next morning, I woke up slowly and was greeted by a smooth, fair chin. When I opened my eyes, I widened my eyes and screamed, accidentally hitting Mark's chin with my head. I heard a muffled groan and saw Mark's pained expression as I sat up. You shameless jerk. I pointed at Mark. You took advantage of me. Who gave you permission to hold me while sleeping? Mark sat up too. I have to admit, his looks are indeed top-notch. His tousled bangs fell over his eyebrows, and his deep black eyes stared at me. He rubbed his chin and said, Are you sure I was holding you? I frowned a bit, thought for a moment, and then my face turned awkward. It seemed like I had pinned Mark under me while sleeping. I've always been a restless sleeper. Mark is often busy and sometimes not home. Even when he is, we sleep in separate beds. I scratched my head and said, We're an old married couple. So what if I pinned you down? I never back down verbally. After that, I didn't dare look at Mark, quickly climbing out of bed. Breakfast was prepared by the show crew. After breakfast, they gave us a task. Help villagers kill fish. Hearing the word kill fish, I thought of the scene. Under normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't care. But now that I'm pregnant, just thinking about it made me nauseous. Mark was the first to notice my condition. He walked to my side and patted my back. What's wrong? I was about to speak, but then the director's team brought out the fish. The smell hit my nose, and I couldn't help gagging again. The viewers in the live stream couldn't help but discuss. What's wrong with Lisa? It looks like morning sickness. Is Lisa pregnant? Why is she gagging at the smell of fish? I saw Mark squinting at me. My heart skipped a beat. As I was thinking of an explanation, I saw Luna gagging as well. Mark, Luna's reaction was even more severe than mine, and I'm the pregnant one. Mark, this smell is awful. I caught a cold last night, and now it just makes me feel sick. Luna's eyes were red and teary, waiting for Mark to comfort her. But Mark didn't give her a single glance. Instead, her words gave me a way to respond. I think I caught a cold last night too. Feeling a bit queasy today. Let the crew bring an extra blanket tonight. Mark suddenly reached out and touched my forehead. At least you're not running a fever. Mark's sudden touch startled me. The live stream went silent for a moment, then the comments exploded. OMG, did you see that? The dream guy just touched Lisa's forehead. Isn't this a dating show? It's normal to touch someone's forehead. Why didn't Mark check on Luna? She said she felt unwell, but is caring for Lisa instead. What kind of logic is that? Mark's current partner is Lisa. Isn't it normal to care for her? Why should he care for Luna? Aren't Mark and Luna a couple in real life? When did Mark ever say he and Luna were a couple? Stop shipping them, please. The live stream chat was going wild, and I finally collected myself. I saw Luna looking at me like she wanted to eat me alive. I frowned, feeling displeased. Mark is my husband, so what's with her look? I coldly smirked and acted delicate. Mark, I feel too sick to kill any fish. I gave Mark a knowing look. Honestly, I felt a bit nervous inside. I wasn't sure if Mark would refuse me, but if he did, he would be in deep trouble. I heard Mark quietly agree. I'll do it. You rest by the side. I grinned. Felix and Chloe. Chloe didn't want to kill fish either. Felix told her to rest too. Then it was Jack and Luna's turn. Just as Luna was about to speak, Jack cut in. Luna, the fish smell bothers me too. You do it. With that, Jack handed Luna the big knife and walked away, crossing his legs. Both Luna and the audience in the live stream were stunned. Oh my, Jack's move cracked me up. Luna is completely shocked. Isn't Jack a bit too rude? Why make Luna kill fish? What's rude about it? Last time, Luna wasn't feeling well, so Jack picked wood alone. Now Jack doesn't feel well. Why can't Luna kill fish? Luna, stop making a fuss. Luna's fan base just isn't as strong as Jack's girlfriend fans. Pretty soon, the live chat was filled with messages telling Luna to stop being so dramatic. Luna's manager's face went from bad to worse. Luna really didn't want to do it, but Jack clearly wasn't going to step in. If Luna didn't do anything, we'd probably go without lunch. So, she resigned herself to pick up the knife and start cleaning the fish. Luna was wearing a white dress today, which soon turned bright red. Not gonna lie, I was kind of enjoying the show. I've never liked her, so I was definitely relishing in it. I glanced over at Mark. He was dressed head to toe in black, wearing a leather apron over his clothes. His sleeves were rolled up to his mid-forearm, showing off his strong arms. He cut through the fish without a second of hesitation. I gave a small cough, almost got lost in those manly vibes. Some of the fish we cleaned in the morning ended up being lunch. When it was time to eat, the smell of the fish made me a bit nauseous. I made up an excuse and went to the bathroom. I was dry heaving by the sink and thought I might as well use the toilet. I didn't bring my bag inside since there wasn't much space. I just left it by the sink. When I came out, I saw Luna. I couldn't tell for sure, but she seemed a little flustered. But before I had time to really check, she turned and went into the bathroom. Afternoon. It started pouring outside. The crew gave us a break, telling us we'd continue filming once the rain stopped. Felix and Chloe from next door came over for a game of poker. Jack and I joined in. We joked and laughed the whole afternoon, and before we knew it, it was evening. The rain persisted, so the crew prepared dinner for us. They also mentioned we'd have to wake up early the next day to help the villagers pick mushrooms after the rain. The mountain path was a bit slippery, but the fresh air smelled wonderful. Mark seemed to have something to do, and was called away by his manager Eve halfway through. Before he left, I saw him whisper something to Jack. Jack glanced in my direction, but they were too far away for me to hear anything. I followed a villager up the mountain. It wasn't long before my basket was half full. I got so engrossed in picking that I didn't realize I'd lost the group. When I finally looked up, no one was around. Jack, I yelled, but there was no answer. Luckily, it was morning and not nighttime. If I couldn't find my way back, I'd wait and hope the crew would notice I was missing. I didn't panic too much, calling out Jack's name as I walked. Suddenly, a female voice spoke up. TCH, even lost, you still won't stop yelling for a guy. I turned towards the voice and saw Luna behind me. Lisa, have you no shame? Didn't you get my last warning? Jack or Mark, neither of them are in your league. Luna slowly approached me. I can't, but you can. I folded my arms, looking her up and down with disdain. You're not even as pretty as me, and your personality sucks. If I can't get them, you definitely can't. Sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. But what I said was true. I am prettier and have a better personality than Luna. I knew my words would anger her, and sure enough, I saw the fury in her eyes. What I didn't expect was for her to be bold enough to push me. Lisa, go to hell. She wants me dead. I was caught off guard, and with the slippery ground, I tumbled down the slope. But before I fell, I grabbed Luna's ankle. If I'm going down, you are too. Luna and I rolled down to who knows where. Before I blacked out, I remembered landing on top of her. I shielded my stomach with my hands. When I woke up, a snowy white ceiling greeted me, and Mark was beside me looking worried. My first reaction was to grab Mark's hand and urgently ask, is the baby okay? Mark froze. What baby? Oh, I just realized I hadn't told Mark about the pregnancy. Just then, the doctor walked in. The patient's test results are out. There's a minor concussion, but the baby is fine. However, the pregnancy is a bit unstable. Bed rest is necessary. I let out a sigh of relief. Thank you, doctor. The doctor left after delivering the report. I could feel Mark's intense stare. I was too scared to look back. Sue, Lisa. He called me by my real name. What? I didn't want to talk, but Mark made me look him in the eyes by tilting my chin. Did it happen that night? Why didn't you tell me? His eyes looked a bit red. Under his gaze, I suddenly felt a bit guilty, but I couldn't back down. You should be asking yourself that. I tried to tell you that day, but you said you were on a business trip. Turns out, you were picking up Luna at the airport. Mark was taken aback. When did I ever pick her up from the airport? Seeing him deny it, I smirked and pulled up the news report to show him. Mark explained, I wasn't picking her up. I'd just landed myself. I don't usually follow these tabloids. I didn't know she spread that. Mark never paid attention to that gossip. It was a coincidence that he and Luna arrived at the same airport and got photographed together. Lisa, I had no idea you'd misunderstand. I'm going to clear this up right now. He looked panicked, desperate to explain. I couldn't help but smile. Then you better hurry. I really didn't want to stay in the hospital, but Mark insisted. He said he'd cancel all his engagements to stay with me, but I had to stay at least 3 days and follow the doctor's orders. Otherwise, he'd tell my parents. I can't stand my dad and mom's nagging, so I reluctantly settled down in the hospital. But what I didn't expect was that while I was enjoying Mark's care, a trending topic about me blew up on Facebook. Just as Mark was feeding me an apple, Eve called. "Lisa, you're pregnant. Whose baby is it?" Eve's furious shout echoed through the phone. I was stunned. "How did you know?" "I haven't told anyone about this. Check Facebook yourself." I quickly opened Facebook and saw my name trending. Cheap actress Lisa is pregnant and still flirting with others. Lisa, get out of the entertainment industry. Pregnant and still flirting with 2 men. My pregnancy test report was somehow posted online, showing my real name, but the report was taken in a bathroom. I remembered I ran into Luna at the bathroom door while filming a dating show. She looked flustered at that time. No wonder she had rummaged through my bag. Continuing to read, the news also included photos of me and Jack goofing around on the show and Mark touching my forehead. I always found Lisa disgusting. Now she's pregnant and still flirting with Jack and Mark. Absolutely revolting. Lisa, leave the entertainment industry. People like you don't belong here. She's vile. Jack and Mark aren't people you can flirt with. As a minor celebrity, I rarely trended, but when I did, the comments were all insults. But why should I leave? I won't. Mark had obviously seen the trend too. His face was darker than mine. I'll find out who posted this. No need. I stopped him. Who else but your ex? She rifled through my bag while taping the show when I went to the bathroom. Mark frowned. She's not my ex. We have nothing to do with each other. People online don't think so. My words silenced Mark. I told him not to get involved, that I'd handle it myself. I quickly logged into my account and posted on Facebook. To the one who posted my pregnancy test, guess why I'm called Sue? I circled the part of the report showing my real name. At the same time, the official Supergroup account retweeted my post with the caption, introducing our group's heiress. Jack also retweeted, introducing my sister, my biological sister. In less than a minute, these 3 posts skyrocketed to the top of the trending list. The internet exploded. I didn't realize Lisa's real name is Sue. She's Jack's sister. Oh my god. Lisa has been in the industry for 2 years. She could have used her family influence, but chose to make it on her own. I was wrong, so wrong. I actually insulted my own sister. Sorry, sis, please forgive me. Lisa is actually the heiress of Supergroup. She's literally a rich, beautiful heiress. People used to say Sue liked to flirt, and had backing from many investors. I never believed it. Now it's clearly false. Lisa is the capital herself. Online comments completely turned around after I revealed my background. Eve's calls kept coming. When I finally picked up, Eve's furious voice rang out again. Sue, you really kept this identity hidden well. Good thing I moved the phone away, or my eardrum would have burst. After Eve finished yelling, I put the phone back to my ear. So, whose baby are you carrying, you dog? The dog in question was sitting next to me, looking at me pitifully. I told Eve a name. Eve fell silent for a moment, then quickly hung up. Why did she hang up? I didn't call her back. I checked Facebook again, and although many comments had flipped, some were still nasty. Just because Lisa is from the Sue family doesn't change her promiscuous nature. Pregnant and still on a dating show. Disgusting. Pregnant and still flirting on a dating show. So gross. Mark and Luna are a recognized couple, and Lisa's flirting with Mark while pregnant. Slut. Don't insult her, or Lisa will hunt you down with her money. Reading these comments, I wasn't bothered, but I heard Mark ask, mind if we go public? I reflexively said, I don't mind. But then I realized and looked at Mark, shocked. Mark, don't act recklessly. These netizens are just spewing nonsense, but Mark's career is on the rise. 10 minutes later, introducing my wife and the child is mine. Attached was a picture of our marriage certificate. If my previous reveal caused a frenzy, this caused absolute chaos. In a hospital room, Luna's forehead was wrapped in bandages, and her face was as dark as a storm cloud. Her phone lay smashed on the floor. How could that little slut be the heiress of Supergroup? Thinking back to the warnings she gave Sue to stay away from Jack, her face burned with shame. She punched the bed in frustration and screamed. After screaming, a sinister look flashed in Luna's eyes. So what if she's a rich heiress? The fact remains she flirted with Mark while pregnant. I'll still crush her and kick her out of the industry. Her assistant, trembling, handed her a phone. What is it? Luna snapped. She looked down and saw Mark's Facebook post. Luna froze. A furious scream echoed in the room as Luna threw the phone at her assistant's face. I knew nothing of this. Snuggled in my hospital bed, I looked at the Facebook post Mark had made, introducing my wife and the child is mine. My heart felt so sweet. Mark immediately sent another message. The one I love, the only one who has been by my side from beginning to end, is Sue. Others, please stop using me to hype things up. or I'll reserve my right to take legal action. Anyone could tell who the irrelevant person he was talking about. I knew it. Luna and the superstar had nothing to do with each other. It was always a one-sided act from Luna. When did Mark ever acknowledge her? I looked through Luna's past interviews and found she was always hinting at a relationship with the superstar. The queen of drama, indeed. Luna's plan to smear me through public opinion never worked. But because she exposed my pregnancy test results, my parents eventually found out, earned me quite the scolding. On the day I was discharged, a bunch of reporters gathered at the hospital entrance. Mark stayed by my side, holding my hand. The reporters rushed toward us, throwing all sorts of questions. Suddenly, one reporter twisted his wrist, pulled a knife from his pocket, and lunged at me. The knife aimed straight at my belly. It was too close for the bodyguard to react. My eyes widened, hands instinctively protecting my stomach. But someone was even faster than me. The sound of the knife entering flesh echoed. Blood splattered on my face. Mark! I heard myself scream. Everyone was shocked. The bodyguard scooped up Mark and dashed back into the hospital. I was panicking, tears blurring my vision. Mark, please be okay. The knife was still lodged in Mark's back. He reached out to me, seemingly wanting to say something, but then he started coughing. Mark, don't speak. The knife had gone in deep, and an overwhelming fear consumed me. If I'm not around, will you feel free to keep joining those dating shows? Even though I was worried about Mark, his half-broken sentence made me so mad, I wanted to strangle him. He always held a grudge about me joining those shows, saying he only participated to chase after me. I snapped, you're right. If something happens to you, I'll move in with the show crew. Mark was rushed into surgery. I called the cops, but that reporter committed suicide. In the crowd, I saw Luna. My gut told me she had something to do with this. I asked my folks for help in investigating. Sure enough, it led back to Luna. I took her to court. That day on the mountain, when she pushed me, our conversation got recorded by the show's MIC. She thought pushing me off would destroy the MIC too, but she was disappointed. I had someone retrieve it. I posted the recording online, causing an uproar. When the mighty fall, everyone kicks them. Luna had built an image of a clear-headed, gentle goddess in the industry. After she got arrested, many in the circle revealed her true nature. Bad temper, diva behavior, abusing and berating assistants, it all came out. 3 days later, I used to be the one lying in bed, with Mark feeding me apples. Now I was feeding him, but he still complained the apples didn't taste good. Fed up, I shoved the rest into his mouth. People asked why, with all my family's money, I still entered the entertainment industry, because I was always following in someone's footsteps. He shimmered on screen, dazzling like a star. 10 years of secret love ended in a happy conclusion. Mark's epilogue. The old man next door got a new granddaughter, like a little doll, blush pink and cute. The little doll was like a shadow, always following me around. Mom said she was going to be my bride one day. I didn't want that. A clingy little thing was annoying, but that little thing ended up going to school with me. I couldn't help it. Being older meant I had to let her follow. But as she grew up, I couldn't figure out why she stopped tagging along. I was a bit unhappy. Today, I saw someone confessing to her. Suddenly, I had the urge to hide her away. The little one told me she liked big stars, and wanted to try being a star's wife. Now, she got to try it.